Since the Williams Formula One team's future was secured by its sale to private investment firm Dorilton Capital, there has been growing excitement about its future. At first, all the talk was of evaluation and stability, but Williams acting team principal Simon Roberts has given the first hints of the new owner's plans for the team. While it has had plenty of false dawns over the years, this could be a genuine rebirth for the famous team. So let us know in the comments below how long you think it will take for Williams to win again. And while you're at it, if you can explain exactly how Pastor Maldonado managed to take the most recent Williams win in the 2012 Spanish Grand Prix, we'd appreciate it. So what exactly has Roberts said about the plans? First and foremost, he stressed the importance of long-term performance, which is exactly the right mindset to ensure it puts everything into being in the best possible shape for the arrival of F1's new technical regulations in 2022. The process of evaluating exactly how to deploy the cash that is now available to the team is ongoing. But while Roberts says the team would not write off the 2021 season, the opportunity presented by 2022 means it is pragmatic to bias its development resources towards the new car. Work on the 2022 designs is currently not permitted thanks to restrictions brought in to tackle the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, but these will be lifted at the start of next year. Then, Williams is also likely to have the maximum available aerodynamic testing time for wind tunnel and CFD work, based on the new for 2021 sliding scale that allocates such resource based on reverse Constructors' Championship order. This is provided it does not climb off the bottom of the Constructors' Championship table, with Haas and Alfa Romeo only 1 and 4 points clear respectively. While Williams will do its best to do better than 10th, it's going to be hard-pressed to do so with what is often the slowest car on race day. Roberts has explained the team is evaluating its budget plans and also the wider investments it needs to make to get closer to the front. While he says the team doesn't want to give up on 2021 because Williams does need to stay sharp and compete properly on track, it's clear that the short term has to take a back seat. He has targeted a similar step forward from 2020 to 21, as Williams achieved this year compared to its dismal 2019 season. While it's unlikely to make quite such a big performance gain relative to the front, given it improved from 4.3% off the pace to 2.9% off the pace this year, it can certainly aspire to take the fight to Ferrari-engined Alfa Romeo and Haas. But what Roberts says the team won't do is sacrifice its efforts for 2022 in any way. That's the big opportunity, and is rightly its priority. Since the takeover by Dorilton Capital was completed, Williams has been working through an intensive process to set the longer-term direction. While the team had pre-existing ideas about the best way to allocate new resources, it inevitably takes time to create a well-structured strategy that Dorilton Capital hopes should set the team on the right course for the coming years. Appointing Roberts as acting team principal is symptomatic of the desire to ensure Williams remains stable and functional while this process is ongoing. Stability is an important objective for Dorilton Capital, something it stresses is part of its approach to all of its investment portfolio. And as Roberts himself said, there's no quick fix here. We're in it for the long haul, and so are Dorilton. Williams is currently running at a budget below the $145 million cost cap that kicks in next year, but it does aspire to run at the maximum level in the future. The team already had a budget allocated for this season, which has not changed significantly since Dorilton took over, but extra money has been injected to deal with debt repayment that is independent of the operational budget. This was the budget set under the previous Williams family ownership and was always in place regardless of the sale. Roberts could not confirm that the team will run at the cost cap next year, but hinted it was likely to do so as it ramps up for 2022, as it is building its budget around getting to that level. Given the desire to maximise the opportunity of 2022, ensuring Williams has the maximum research and development resources to invest in that project would be a logical move. While it's far too late to impact this year, there will be a little more funding available in 2021. But what Roberts also stressed is that money will only be spent where it makes sense, rather than just throwing cash at every problem. The question of the long-term day-to-day leadership of the team also remains up in the air. Roberts was the obvious choice as acting team principal and is eminently capable of taking the job on permanently should no stronger candidate emerge. but the team is known to be evaluating a wide range of possible candidates, with a focus on finding someone with a strong F1 track record, a requirement Roberts himself could fulfil, despite not being the most high-profile member of the F1 paddock. Roberts has avoided talking about his own aspirations, saying he is focusing on the job at hand, but he did suggest he was keen to continue in the role when he said, "Hopefully I can continue to do it for longer." But Roberts was chosen for being a calm head, experienced in the key decisions that must be made at the top level of F1 teams, and we can believe he will be focused on the job in hand, rather than pursuing a personal agenda at this time. As for Dorilton Capital itself, its long-term plan is to have team leadership in place that will handle the operation day to day, but inevitably it is heavily involved in this ongoing process of setting the long-term strategy and still building its understanding of the business. Dorilton personnel have also been on site at the Williams factory, while chairman Matthew Savage was among those to attend the Tuscan Grand Prix at Mugello. While they are keeping a low profile in F1 circles, that's a sensible move given there is much to do at Williams to set it back on the path to winning ways. This cannot afford to be another fool's dawn, and with the investment available and the whole financial basis of F1 under the new Concord agreement far more equitable, Williams' new ownership must be judged by what it achieves in the long term, and therefore needs to focus on that rather than making short-term declarations of ambition or some such. Let us know how convinced you are by what you've heard about the new Williams ownership in the comments below, and if you think it will ever bring back the good old days of fighting for wins and titles. And if you enjoy our outputs, please don't forget to like and subscribe.